Sarah was jumping up and down next to me, jubilant and slightly flushed from the wine she had drank. "Stars in heaven, that was amazing," she blurted. "I had no idea those two could do something like that. You and Corey train with them?" "All the time," I all but gloated, though our sparring sessions were never as flashy as what the twins had just performed. In truth, their display had been just as new and exciting for me as it had been for her. "Come on, let's go see them," she said, as she reached for my hand and pulled me toward the stage. We made our way to the twins, the two already surrounded by praise and compliments. Now that we were closer, the Blue Eagle was revealed to be Cass. He was still dancing around like a bird, squawking at random as he bobbed through an excited crowd of friends and family. Pole stood proud with his fist on his waist, chest out. He seemed ridiculously tall with the eagle head above his own. "Ah, Kael, what did you think of the show?" he asked, not waiting for a response before changing the subject. "Oh, and who is this young beauty with you? She's even holding on to you. Brave thing, that, holding on to this one." "Cut the nonsense, Pole," Sarah snapped. "We came to congratulate you two numbskulls. That was stupendous." Pole laughed. The white of his teeth and red of his mouth appeared eerie in contrast to the white paint that obscured his face beneath the stern expression of the eagle. "Why, thank you, Sarah. That's mighty sweet of you." Cass reappeared from our left in a flutter of feathers and blue. "Kael, did you see us?" He was still bursting with excitement, his wide-eyed expression and toothy smile terrifying as he peered from the throat of the eagle. "I did. Exceptional performance. You truly honor your house and your people." I bowed my head ever slightly. I felt warm from the wine. "Well, of course, but didn't expect to hear you say it outright," Cass responded, shocked by the compliment. "Usually your brother has to nag at us for a bit before you speak your piece. One day with your girlfriend here and suddenly you're a sweetheart. I don't know if I can get used to this side of Kael," he teased, obviously more aimed at Sarah than me. "Oh, grow up," Sarah barked, though she seemed somewhat flattered by the comment. Sarah sent a slugging fist, but Pole ducked away easily enough. She missed wide, and the twins burst into laughter. "No need for violence," Pole mocked. "I only mean to congratulate the two of you. A good match, really. Stupendous, even." He looked pleased with himself, as he and Cass chuckled like a couple of goofy birdmen. Sarah looked to me in defeat, blue eyes sparkling from the fun of it. "However do you manage?" she asked, her words drenched in sarcasm. "Oh, come on, Sarah. We aren't so bad. I mean, did you not just see what we did there?" Pole asked, as he pulled the large bird head off his shoulders. "Of course you did, brother. Everyone saw. In fact, I see a few misty-eyed young maidens who clearly enjoyed our performance," Cass prattled, nodding from his brother to a group of splendidly painted girls. They were practically swooning over the twins. "Well, let's not be rude, brother. Ladies mustn't be kept waiting," Pole responded behind a ridiculous smile. He shot a wink toward the gaggle of trouble. "We'll leave you with Princess Sucker Punches." "Whatever," I retorted, as per the usual. The twins wandered toward the group of colorful maidens. Cass pulled off his headdress as well, calling out to the girls as the two approached. "Ladies!" The amount of giggles that arose following his call suggested they would be well received. "Those two are more like a couple of prancing cocks than eagles," Sarah quipped as she watched the two flirt with the girls, attempting to dazzle them with more theatrics. Their banter would inevitably scare them off. As much as I wanted to see how it worked out, I decided it was best if Sarah and I made a break for it, just in case the twins decided we were more fun. "We should go," I suggested, with a nod in my intended direction. We moved through the thinning crowd. She merrily followed, catching up to wrap herself around my arm. She certainly didn't mind getting close, and I was minding it less and less. We made our way back through the village center, and the colorful bodies resumed dancing around the large pyre still blazing. The festival was far from over. On our way through, we joined in the central circle that moved around the fire, merrily dancing and stomping alongside our brothers and sisters. I considered staying there, as Sarah seemed to enjoy dancing. Instead, when we made our way to the north end of the circle, I took her hand and we fled further. "Where are we going?" she asked, chest heaving from jumping around the fire and yelling into the night. "Almost there," I responded. When at last we broke free of the dancing mob, I turned to Sarah and pointed to a group of elders gathered around a small makeshift stage. Wildlings clamored about on stage, armed with stick swords and wearing fun little costumes. Parents and elders were gathered round, laughing at the hysterical antics of the young entertainers. It was a nice little gem, nestled in a corner along the eastern ridge, a welcome change from the intensity of the dance circle. "Come on," I urged, and together we found a place near enough to see. The jubilant young characters were reenacting the battle with the dreaded trickler. The wildlings with toy swords scrambled about yelling, belting tiny war cries. A long segmented body of stitched fabric lumbered about on many tiny feet. The wildlings inside the long costume moved without the slightest synchronization. The voices growled mysteriously from within the fabric facade as the drunken beast attempted to do battle with the warriors. The pincers at the beast's bobbling head were controlled by the wildlings in front. he roared as he dashed for the toddling warriors, the pincers sloppily groping through the air. The other segments had no idea where they were moving or when they would move next, and the creature bounced and jerked about as the segments bumped into one another, stumbling to keep up with the wayward head. As the trickler's head changed direction to catch a warrior by surprise, it tripped, pulling free of the rest of the body. The look on the wildling's face playing the segment next to the head was priceless. As they struggled to rejoin the head to the body, Sarah was all but rolling with laughter. Again and again, the great monster would fall apart or bump into a warrior wildling and send them to the ground. It was chaos, wonderful and fun. Of all the stories they had to choose from, your grandfathers were the only ones they were interested in doing. We settled on the story of the trickler, though it was not their first pick, came a soft voice from my right. It was Nisha. Nice to see the two of you together. Her hair was tied back similar to Sarah's. She wore blue and green paint across her face and white banded stripes with blue and purple shades around her wrists. Hey sis, Sarah responded. Little Coda up there? Nisha rolled her eyes and sighed. Of course. He's near the tail somewhere. I think he's the second to the last one there, she pointed. 2 tiny feet shuffled about as the segments in front of it all but dragged it to and fro. Oh, how fun, Sarah laughed. How much longer do you think he'll last? Oh, it should be wrapping up soon, Nisha explained. They tend to get caught up in this scene. Eventually they'll get tired and work it out. The grand finale was wonderful. The tail of the trickler finally broke away, and Nisha left us to aid her teary-eyed toddler. A few of the warrior wildlings had lost interest in the beast and began battling one another instead. As the warrior still fighting the creature went to deliver the final blow, the boy leading the party tripped. The boy behind him stumbled over his fallen partner to fall as well, landing them well short of the beast. It split in two as if they had met their mark anyhow, by fate it would seem. The two arrived moments later to deliver the triumphant swings that would surely have done the trick. The segments ran about as the wildlings within screamed before tumbling over, feigning death. The warriors cheered, and the parents and grandparents watching cheered as well. I looked at Sarah just as I felt her hand reach for mine. Thanks for sharing this with me, her voice warm, like her smile.